Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to the intuitive card reading for the week of July 6th through July 12th. You guys know what to do. Please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Please share this video with anybody that needs to hear the energies or the influences of the week. Comments down below. I encourage comments. I love the comments. I always respond back. I actually have 4 decks this time. There's only a couple in view, I think. I threw in an Archangel deck, old school. Felt intuitively aligned. So yeah, it's here. They're all shuffled and in an order that feels intuitively aligned as well. So, all right, guys, what else do I need to say? I think that's it. Let's jump right into it. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, I do want to say I hope everybody's staying cool. It's really hot here, especially when I'm recording this. I'm inside. I'm very grateful for AC, but yeah, heat stroke and these high temperatures, it's nothing to play with. So I hope everybody's staying safe. Okay, what do we need? We need detachment. All right, so we need to detach from something. Pretty straightforward on that one. We need to remove ourselves from something. We need to remove the expectations from something. And again, the need is always like what our soul, from a soul level, what do we need? And so we're too attached to something, outcome, expectations, a person, an idea, an organization, like whatever it actually is. So we need to be practicing detachment, which means that we need to have more of a blasé attitude about whatever this thing is that we're attaching to. We need to be more, whatever happens kind of situation. Like there's a card in one of these decks called the Fates. It's kind of like that energy. It's like what will be, will be. So you kind of have to detach from the outcome, detach from whatever it actually is, and just let whatever's going to happen, happen. Okay, so we need to do that. Our soul is calling us to do that. However, it is under need. So whether we do that or not is up for debate. Sorry, I need to take a drink of water there. Excuse me. All right, action needed. We have spread your wings. Do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you're ready to soar up. What a good one to have for here. So basically it's saying like, be a little bit more visible. Go ahead and do the thing that you've been thinking about. No more holding back. Just go forward with it. Stop the perfectionism. You don't have to make something perfect before going forward. Go ahead and fly. Spread your wings. That's kind of what it's about. So, there's not much more I can say here, but if you've been wanting to pull the trigger on something or been wanting to move forward with something, this is under the action needed. So this is saying, yeah, Spirit is saying it feels aligned this week. It feels like it's in flow. Pull that trigger. Go for it. Yeah, I love that. That's great. Issue. Community. Okay, so we're having issues with the community this week. Could mean so many different things. Maybe you had a falling out with a neighbor, or you're having difficulties with a neighbor. Community could also be family. Maybe you're having difficulties with a family member. Maybe you're not fitting into a family or a community or a group or an organization or something like that. Maybe you're meeting your in-laws this week, your future in-laws, and things aren't going as great as you would hope them to be. Maybe your community is putting together a play and all things are going wrong. So many issues, obstacle after obstacle is happening, and you're like really frustrated. Okay, that could be another example. But there's something here where community is involved, family is involved, or an organization is involved, where things are just not going as planned. Let's just put it that way. Challenge. What's challenging? We have Prince in the Shadow, using power for self-aggrandizement. Romantic charm and potential for power. Okay. Trying to get so basically it's saying like you're trying to get what you want for your own gain. Being a little bit maybe manipulative. but also kind of like using your power, whatever it is, to advantage. So this could be like, an example would be use it, name dropping for a reservation. I know that might be like a little off, but that's what I'm feeling intuitively from the prince in the shadow. But using like using a name for like a reservation, or like name dropping for something, abusing power in some way. A friend gave you a key to their apartment, and you know that they're not going to be away for, that they're not going to be home for a while, so you throw a party at their place or something like that. So this is basically saying that there might be some kind of conundrum going on here, or some kind of dilemma where we want to be doing this, but it's maybe not in our, it's not the greatest thing that we could be doing. This could be happening to us as well. You could be the friend, that maybe somebody's taking advantage of, possibly. But yeah, it definitely feels like there's power dynamics in play somewhere here. But yeah, like a challenging, sorry if this isn't super clear, but it's just kind of like using your power in not the greatest ways. It can go from something minor, like, again, trying to get a reservation, or something extremely selfish where you could end up trashing your friend's place, because you didn't want to trash your own place, you know what I'm saying, for the party. So this could be, from a minor to a major. I feel like it's more minor, nothing too crazy, nothing that is extremely disruptive. Yeah, not too much more I can say here with that. So basically it's under challenge because I feel like it's like you're almost having like a moral dilemma around it. I don't know if I made that clear, but yeah, it feels like it's challenging because you don't know if you should do it, or it feels a little off for you, or maybe you feel like you have to do it, but maybe it's quote unquote wrong, or not the best idea, or something along those lines. Change, a breakthrough. Okay, so you're having a breakthrough, so this is great. So if you've been, a breakthrough can mean a few different things. Sometimes I think of it like in therapy. If you've been trying to work on something, and you haven't really gotten to your aha moment, this could be like the week that it happens. A breakthrough could also be like, you've been working on something really, really hard, maybe a creative project, and you finally had a breakthrough on that. You've been applying for jobs for so long and you haven't gotten any callbacks, and you finally break through on something. You finally get a callback in an interview. So yeah, something maybe that you've been waiting for a long time definitely breaks through this week. And I see it as like more of like a positive thing. Something that you've been really, really waiting for, like on your big, like it's almost saying like you're waiting for that big break. Okay, so I know that's good for artists and things like that, but yeah, you've been waiting for a break. You're definitely getting one for sure. Yeah, okay. Focus, we have clairvoyance, spiritual sight. Okay, so yeah, so this is saying focus on your spiritual sight. So this could be, clairvoyance is an intuitive gift. It's the gift of seeing. So prioritize maybe any psychic messages that you get this week, any intuitive messages that you get this week. Focus on the things that, it's also could be saying like focus on your vision, the things that you can see for yourself. So it could also say like focus on your bigger goals for yourself. Make those a priority this week. But yeah, mostly if you get any messages, intuitive or psychic messages, definitely focus and prioritize that. I feel like we're super psychic for whatever reason this week. And I usually never use the word psychic, by the way. I always use the word intuitive, but I definitely feel like we might be getting messages. So focus on that, make that a priority. It's not your imagination. It's your clairvoyance coming through. All right, what do we need to reflect on? Chop wood. Okay, so this is like doing chores. This is about doing things around the house. It's about sweeping. You see a broom there. Reflecting on the little things. That's what I feel like it's saying. Reflect on maybe the small wins that you've had recently. Reflect on maybe hard work. reflect on all of the little things that have added up to the big things, like that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's kind of like an exercise in building humility, if that makes sense. Responsibilities, we have liberator in the shadow, imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. Okay, so not feeling free, keeping people from freedom, basically, or keeping yourself from freedom, ignoring legitimate constraints. Okay, so it's your responsibility to let people go. It's your responsibility to let people do whatever they need to do in their life. I think it's very interesting this is coming up after the island detachment up there, where we kind of need to detach from something. It feels similar in that way. We're saying your responsibilities are to let people go, like let someone go, okay? And like I said, I have a feeling it has something to do with that up there. And it might be ourselves, like let ourselves go for whatever reason. Like maybe you're like liberator in the shadow is like your own jailer. Like where are you not keeping yourself free to do what you want? You know, on an emotional level, I think of like codependency, enmeshment. You know, you're afraid to move to another country, but you're free to do so, and like that that's what you really truly want. So it's kind of like you're free to move and travel and do the things that you want to do. This could be definitely if you're a parent, maybe you're being overly strict, okay? And so it's important that you kind of open up. And I like that it's under responsibility, because it's saying that's your responsibility, is to let somebody go. And, there's a fine line there, but like some people have to make their own mistakes. And, even if you think it's a mistake, that kind of thing. You kind of just have to let people live their lives. We kind of got similar messages like a couple of months ago, I would say. Very similar, not the same cards, but kind of like similar energy where very like controlling type energy. Okay, and I'm feeling that a little bit, but I definitely feel like the new the leash. I'm trying to get the word leash. The like the collar or the leash is being loosened up a little bit. Whether it's on yourself or somebody else. And it's your responsibility to do that. Be a little bit loose. I'm thinking of like a dog, with the leash and the collar. Like, you have the dog on a tight leash. Maybe it's time to loosen up that collar a little bit and loosen up that leash and let them kind of explore what they need to explore. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of energy. Money, finances, and career. Oh my gosh, why can't I pull this card? Radiance. Okay. Oh, we like that. Diamond. and 11 is on the card. So yeah, some good things here. So money, finances, and career. You're radiating. You're glowing. You're shining. You're doing really well at work. This is a good work week. You are shining like a diamond out, and you're standing out. That's a good way to put it. Standing out this week. So you might be getting a lot of praise, a lot of appreciation from work. This could be literal with money and finances here. You could be investing in diamonds, in gold or something along those lines, or precious gems or something. You could be receiving those things. You can be having them appraised this week or something. But yeah, you're definitely shining bright and people are noticing. So again, lots of appreciation, lots of gratefulness for your work and your contribution and, that kind of thing. Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. Surprise. Overcoming difficulties. Oh, this is a great one to have here. The worst is now behind you and you're surmounting any previous challenges. Love that. Okay. So you're overcoming difficulties. So it's under surprise. So it might come out of nowhere. So this could be something big that you've been working on, or this could be something small. Maybe you've been trying to redo your home for so long and have been coming up on obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, and finally you're overcoming the difficult part of that, where maybe you've had to get permission to do certain things around your house, like zoning permits and things like that. And now all of that is like kind of resolving and you're overcoming difficulties. Could be, there's so many examples I could give, but it's basically like the things that have been the most difficult for you in life, there is going to be some kind of reprieve of some kind. And it might come out of nowhere. I mean, it will come out of nowhere. It's under surprise. So I like that. Anything that could help us move past things is positive in my book. Okay, we have friends. What do we got going friend-wise? Go the distance. Okay, so this is about going the distance with friends, family, community. This could be literal. This could be, hey, you're running a race this week with a friend. Maybe you and your friend sign up for a 5K, but this could also be this is like symbolism of longevity. So this could be a really good week for, your oldest friends. Maybe you're reminiscing on how long that you've been friends and really celebrating that. Maybe you meet a friend that you eventually go the distance with, so you won't necessarily know this week, but you might meet somebody that you really go the distance. Maybe you continue to work on something within a family that maybe you were thinking of maybe cutting off a family member, but now you figure, no, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to really try to go to the distance with this, something along those lines. But yeah, it just feels like you're not giving up and just continuing with that person, or community. So yeah. Romantic connection, we have Messiah serving humanity with humility, and it's under romantic connection. Okay, so being of service to your partner, I love that. I mean, there's not too much more I can say here. It's just saying like being of service. Could go both ways. Could be that you're more in service to your partner, or your partner's more in service to you, or both. You guys are being extra kind to each other this week. You're helping each other out. Yeah, not too much more I can say here, except you guys are really, for my couples out there that feel like you haven't been on the same team, this is a week that might change that, where it feels like you're being of service to each other and you're helping each other out, and, you're on the same team and that kind of stuff. So I see it as a positive thing. Importance, cedar tree wisdom. Okay, so it's important to remember all the wisdom that you have. You're a wise person. Utilize that through this week in all the things that you do. So this usually means like not repeating old mistakes or doing things the same way that you have before that haven't necessarily worked out. You're wise now. You have more, wisdom now. So you know how to do things in the correct way. You know how to go about life in the correct way. So it's under importance. So it's saying, weave this into everything that you do this week, and just remember, everything that you've learned and grown from. Grown from. Yes, that's what I want to say. So yeah, I like that. That's really good there. Health and wellness, we have patience. Ooh, okay. Your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. Yes. Not the greatest one to have under health and wellness, but it is what it is. I mean, that's been the name of the game for me for a long time with this. So yeah, maybe you're going through a health issue that requires patience. Maybe, you're really frustrated in your weight loss journey and you need patience. Be patient. It doesn't happen overnight. Yeah, there's not too much more I can say here. Pretty straightforward. Things are happening just very slowly, basically. And then overall outcome, we have Treasure Island. Okay, so this is like lucky energy. This is like feeling more like you have more riches. This is like kind of like, I'm really lucky. I found the treasure. Things are looking up, like that kind of thing. So that's the kind of energy that we end the week with, which is what I like. I like this accompany and very diagonal here from the Radiance card, the Diamond card. So yeah, a lot of sparkly stuff going on in this corner. But yeah, so it feels like you hit, like you feel like you hit the lottery, you hit the jackpot. So yeah, by the weekend, it definitely feels like things are looking up. and you feel like in some way, shape, or form you hit a jackpot, so to say, in some way. So I'm just going to put this here. You might win something this week, or feel like you've won something this week, or be appreciative of the things that you have, all the treasures that you have, or something along those lines. Maybe you really did appraise a diamond and it was a lot more money than you thought it was going to be, or something like that. So yeah, they definitely very much, like I said, could be related. So I like this. Or just feeling, wealth isn't just money, guys. Wealth is also health. Okay, it's also, positive and healthy relationships and all that good stuff. So, all right, guys, let me look. Any red flags? Not really. We've got a moral dilemma up here. It's not really a red flag. Not even the issue with community is really a red flag to me. Yeah, I like this week. I think it's pretty good. I think it's just more so about the detachment and letting people go, letting people live their lives, letting people be a little bit more free, like letting people a little bit, again, releasing the collar, releasing the leash. I think that's really the most important energy, it feels like, of this reading. But yeah, I like it. I think it looks really, really positive. Okay. All right, guys, I think that's it. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.